Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and welcome to NerdTube. We're talking boys. I'm here with Ginger Greek, Rev Jake, and Major Rage. We're going to do a play-by-play shortly regarding what happened during the course of this episode. But first of all, let me ask my fellow boys what they thought of this episode, generally, this whole series, everything. Ginger Greek, how you doing, and what do you think?
Yeah, all good. So final episode, excellent. Really nice build up. Little bit of a disappointing payoff after all the action kind of kicked in and all this kind of stuff. The kind of ending really didn't need all that, loose, tying up whatever small loose ends there might be. They could have left a lot hanging. But overall, great. Series overall, just a fucking masterpiece is all I can say. I absolutely loved it from start to finish. Way better because again, people know I wasn't the biggest fan of series two, although it was good. There was a lot of like needless side stories, but overall, uh, just loved it. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, okay. Well, Reverend Jake, it's been a while since he's been with us. What did you think
Yeah,
of this episode and this series?
super glad to be back, by the way. But yeah, it's been a great thrill ride. I'll have to say I've gotten a little sick of some of Homelander's villainy, is where he's being a little bit childish and how the stuff he puts out. So I'm glad to see the turn by the end of the season to just full on villain. And I think the overall, it's been a great journey to get there. I don't think there's anything I'm disappointed with in this season, except for maybe I wanted more hero gasm.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
was yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Major Rage.
I liked the episode. I kind of felt like it was a little underwhelming, though. I don't know what in particular I was expecting, but the fights were great. Um, good writing as always out of them. But it left me feeling kind of underwhelmed. But I'm excited for what they've kind of set up for next season with the review, like kind of setting up next season's main bad. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everyone knows that we are talking full on spoilers. Apologize for not mentioning that earlier. And one thing I like about the upcoming season is that they're going to start filming next month. So hopefully, maybe early to mid next year, we'll start seeing some footage and some trailers of Boys season 4. So bring it on! I can't wait. So
I think
here's the
it'll be
play by.
last season.
Oh, Mr. Ryan Jerry's here, by the way. This is the only channel I don't skip ads for. So the mattress is ads are no chill laughing my
Thank you, Ryan.
arse off. Well, thank you very much. And we'll be getting to a character called Ryan very shortly. Anyway, Homelander finds his son playing catch by himself. He tells his son being super mean to you will have accidents. He tells Ryan he will always love him, Ryan being obviously Homelander's son. And he all of this basically happens as Officer Grace Mallory just watches helplessly, can't do shit. She even types on her phone a little bit, and Homelander can hear her. And I'll say this: Homelander's super hearing has been a significant thing this season. Like, this guy can fucking hear you anywhere and everywhere and know what you're fucking doing. So that was pretty cool. Two groups of people are protesting outside Vought Tower: Starlight fans and Homelander fans. A search warrant is out for Maeve, so Ashley gasses Maeve and moves her out. Billy and Huey knows Homelander is Soldier Boy's son, and basically now there's a little bit of doubt in the air on stopping Homelander, as well as they want to go after Noir as well. Then Maeve, she's been transported. She breaks out of transport and is on the move. Anytime you guys want to interject, let me know, okay?
Yeah,
Go
I'm
on.
actually talking about the father son thing. I think that's as a dad myself to a little kid who's not that quite old yet, but they make mistakes and you have to kind of push through it. And I think it's something that really humanizes Homelander for him to try to push past and be like, hey, you accidentally killed your mom and that's terrible, but you got to move past it. And I think that's something that the little boy needed to hear to kind of grow and move past that. So I thought that was kind of a really heartwarming little moment. And again, like I said, humanizes Homelander. Something I noticed as a dad.
See, Rev Jake, I actually thought that he wasn't talking about what he did to his mum, but what he did to Stormfront, because that was Homelander's girlfriend, and he fucked her over beyond belief that she wasn't going to come back from. So I think that's what I think they were talking about regarding
Homelander's so narcissistic that he would focus on his own trauma and grief and not that of Ryan.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though. I think this one was more to do with his own mother. Sorry, I've got something going here.
I can see them talking about different people, where maybe Ryan's seeing his mother in that conversation and Homelander seeing Stormfront.
I agree.
I can see that being real.
Yeah, there's that too.
So Frenchie shows Mother's Milk a nerve agent in the bottle of Starlight perfume. Mother's Milk is worried his work with the boys is getting too close to home with his daughter. What shares have basically dropped after the reveal of him killing Supersonic, and Ashley and Deep tell Homelander the bad news about Maeve's escape. Black Noir comes in on the meeting saying that they need to kill Soldier Boy. And this is where I started to see sort of like the Don Corleone element of Homelander. I mean, we've kind of seen it before, but he really is like a gangster. The way he gives Noir a reassuring hug saying welcome back, but it's a sinister hug.
You know what's
what I mean?
coming.
When you see it in gangster films and stuff like that. Butcher knocks out Huey at a petrol station. I'm not going to call it a gas station, even though I just did, to keep him safe. Butcher feeds Soldier Boy some bullshit regarding why Huey's not with them as they head for New York. A-Train, wearing now his blue gear again, tries to reconnect with his now handicapped brother. His brother Nate wants nothing to do with him, mocking A-Train for being a selfish asshole, and tells him he never wants to see him again.
I thought that was that was a really good bit. I like that bit. That felt right. You know what I mean? It felt right. Just the brother just being honest with his own brother. Just say, look, you're just a selfish prick. This is about you. And, all he cares about getting all your merchandise back and all of this kind of stuff. So, yeah, it was a really good moment.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if his brother would have shunned him if he would have known about the other murders in season 1, like Pop Claw and stuff like that. Would he still have shunned him if he had realized the truth back then?
Possibly.
Well, I mean, who knows if he wasn't disabled either. Mage?
I'm really glad that what A-Train thought was going to be absolution and a redemption for himself just turned into more of him getting what he, starting to get what he deserves. And he maybe he's starting to see just how shit he actually is.
Yeah, and being a murderer is something he just shrugs off every time it's mentioned. Yeah. I mean,
he doesn't value life.
No,
unless it's somebody close to him.
Brand. Yeah, it's another narcissist. That's all it is.
They all are pretty much. They're celebrities with superpowers. Starlight picks up Huey. Starlight tells Huey that Temp V is fatal, and Huey realizes Butcher did what he did to keep him safe from shooting up some more V. Huey then talks about his dad, that he misunderstood him and realized that his dad wasn't weak, but he was strong for looking after him as a kid. Maeve is with now Mother's Milk, waiting for Starlight. Maeve tells Starlight when she comes along that her activism is what made Vorp move her and gave her the chance to break out.
Well, hold on. So going back a step, I kind of have to say I'm not a big fan of the whole Temp V kills you in 4 to 5 hits, because I'm sure Butcher's had 4 hits already.
I think he's had more personally.
Yeah. So it just doesn't feel like, oh, he saved my life. It's going to kill me after 1 or 2 more hits. I didn't like that whole spin on things. It felt a little too.
Surely there would have been some damage done already as well to Huey. You can't just I've taken 3, but I haven't gone beyond that. I'm perfectly fine. So
on top of that as well, I would think that they'll probably think, fuck Temp V, we need to get the real stuff. In a way to survive. And I'm surprised that was never brought up once. Maybe in season 4, in order for maybe Butcher to survive, that he needs to take proper V in order to get over his illness.
Possibly. I mean, in the comics, they had it from the start. They had V from the start in the comics.
Yeah.
So maybe they take this route in the next one, which is it's a kind of good evolution of you gotta fight fire with fire kind of thing become the thing that you hate. So it'd be interesting if they
Yeah.
go down that route, or if they kill Butcher off.
Yep. I hope not. I mean, Carl Urban, man, like he's like one of the linchpins of the show. I mean, actually, a lot of these characters are linchpins now. You know what I mean? And the idea of somebody like Carl Urban, who's one of my favorite actors of all time, being kicked off this show, it just seems. Oh, I hope not. I'll be very upset. Anyway, Kimiko is angry at Frenchie for snorting coke. He retorts that he has a chain around his neck, and the only thing changes is who holds the other end. And Kimiko cares for Frenchie, and then basically they console each other. Huey then tells Maeve.
What's up with her finally caring about his drug? He's been like a druggie this whole show, and now all of a sudden it's a problem?
Well,
I
he's
think
been
it's the
smoking weed,
reason.
but I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think it's the reason why he's using that has her more concerned than his actual use of the substances.
And like they're at a different stage in their relationship now. Like they're very, they really give a damn for each other, and him like shoving fucking blow up his nose is just like maybe a bit too much for her.
I've seen no fucking emotional, passionate connection between those two at all. Short of a sweet kind of friendship, it doesn't feel like there's anything else there. I know I just not felt it personally.
I just felt that they put the groundwork in it to make it a very compassionate relationship in some capacity.
It just feels more like a passionless, like not passionless, but like a sweet friendship. I know it's not meant to be like that, but that's what it comes across as me. That's one of the tiny little things that kind of bugged me. Because I mean, she's an animal. You think she'd fuck like one as well, but
Anyway, Huey tells Maeve and the rest of the boys that Homelander is Soldier Boy's son. Soldier Boy tells Butcher now a story of his youth. He could never keep his dad happy, and he went to Vought to get Compound V, did the trials there, and Soldier Boy's dad was still unhappy, saying that Soldier Boy took shortcuts. This kind of leads to Soldier Boy then contemplating about being the dad of Homelander. Homelander sees Noir sharpening his blade. He wants to know what Soldier Boy is like because they were part of the payback group. Homelander tells Noir that Soldier Boy is his dad. Noir responds telling Homelander that regardless, they must kill Soldier Boy. Homelander tells Noir he's no. This is like one of the best scenes because like Noir is an enigma. Like he's very intimidating, but this is where the roles were reversed, and I loved it. Homelander tells Noir he's no enigma to him. He can see through him, see through his outfit, see his crooked smile, all his scars and everything. He wants to know if Noir knew he was Soldier Boy's son. And so Noir nods yes, saying that he did know. And Homelander does that sort of gangster pat on the shoulder, and going, basically like Godfather 2, where he kisses his brother Vito. Michael Corleone kisses his brother Vito, saying that you betrayed me, and kissed his brother at the same time to look like they were happy. But he basically tells Homelander, you should have told me or something like that. I can't believe you kept the information from me. And boom, this is where I knew it, and I knew Noir was going to be killed. I knew from last week's episode, it was setting up Noir's death. In my opinion.
Yeah, but I wasn't satisfied at all with how he died. It was too fucking obvious. It was too obvious that they were gonna go down this route where Homelander was gonna just punch him through the minute we started talking about like his dad and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, no, he's been done I mean, if you compare Noir in the comics to what this Noir is, it's like going from Premier League to fucking national conference.
Oh really? Not that far.
Huge relegation of the character. Yeah. Massive.
In
the comic books,
I know. I'm happy with it because so much of the comics was already spilt out, so people had an idea of the direction the boys could have gone because so many people knew about Black Noir being a clone of Homelander and all of that sort of shit in the comics. So I'm really happy that they deviate because if they don't deviate, then it becomes obvious because of they're following the comics for a T, and I'm glad they're not doing that. But I understand where you're coming from.
Regarding Code Authority, what are you talking about? There is no Comics Code Authority on independent comics. It was only between Marvel and DC.
I'm just talking about this particular show. Like I'm saying, like I'm glad that they took Black Noir down a different route. That he wasn't obviously a clone of Homelander and all of that sort of stuff.
No,
I'm very happy about that.
Not happy at all. Personally, I think what they did in the comics with him, it was phenomenal. And what we got basically just nothing, just another fucking Snake Eyes. That's what I feel we got. Not that I mean, it was fine, but given what it was in the
Snake
comics,
Eyes, yeah.
yeah, it would have been much more interesting to get that kind of character reveal. But we got just something completely different. But that's just like, you know.
Anyway, Ryan Jellins says they need to thin the room to too many soups at the end fight. The crying cartoon scroll backing out of his vision was a powerful way to show him die, though. Yeah, just as I've written in my notes here that just as he's starting to die, I think his name was Irvin or something like that.
Yeah.
And the cartoon character is saying, "You did the right thing, and now you'll soon see Jeebus." So good for him, you know. Because a lot of these, they're very much they go down that religious gravy train. We saw that in the previous seasons. They want all the fanatics to like be part of their crew, but then once they found out that Maeve was a lesbian or bisexual, that they went down that route too, so they can get more liberal people watching this stuff. I mean, anyway, I'm babbling. I do apologize.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, so the boys, Maeve and Starlight, catches up with Butcher. Soldier Boy is going to kill lots of innocent people to kill Homelander with his blast, and Maeve has a change of heart during their conversation and sides with Butcher and Soldier Boy. The others get thrown into a safe to stop them from coming, and Butcher then switches off the power because Starlight can use electricity. She's a bit like Static Shock to a degree, a little bit, not so much, but anyway, Homelander has a sit down with A-Train, Deep, and Ashley. Homelander is pissed that the closest thing he has to family is those three cunts. He whispers in Deep's ear to do something for him, and Deep says that's treason, but Deep does it. Deep is such a kiss ass in this episode. Like, he's calling him sir and everything. You know what I mean? You can see that proper kiss ass. He then tells Ashley to take off her wig, and we see the aftermath of her hair being pulled out. That was a decent scene. And finally,
great reveal.
This is the bit which not many people picked up on, but he criticized A-Train for killing Blue Hawk, saying, how dare you kill one of our own, when he just said that he killed fucking Black Noir. He's killed Supersonic. I'm sure he's killed a couple of other suits.
Yeah, but A-Train knows that because he looks at Supersonic's helmet, but he dare not call him a hypocrite on it.
Yeah. Black Noir's helmet, but yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It was crazy. Like, I think to myself, you fucking hypocrite. Anyway, the VP candidate is having a swim and gets pulled down by someone or something, and then he ends up drowning, and we find out it is the Deep. Everyone fucking knew it was the Deep. That's the only part of that's the only place where he's probably stronger than most people in water. Starlight manages to break out the safe, and Frenchie suggests they break into Vault so they can use their lab to create some more nerve gas to take out Soldier Boy. Butcher, Maeve, and Soldier Boy then catch up with Homelander, and Homelander tries to get through and reason with Soldier Boy, and he pulls out Ryan from the back to show him his grandson. Soldier Boy follows like sort of similar footsteps to his father, and calls Homelander weak and a fucking disappointment. And then Soldier Boy tries to blast Homelander, but Ryan eye-beams him away. Soldier Boy attacks the kid, making Butcher change sides and starts attacking Soldier Boy. Maeve still goes after Homelander, and Starlight and Mother's Milk eventually come in for the save to attack Soldier Boy. Huey, with no compound B in him, basically goes to a different part of the building where there's like communications and lighting and all that sort of shit. And he gets on the comms, Sorry.
No, it's good. I kind of thought that was a little weird. Like, I get that Butcher's going to defend the boy, but I feel like after the first, like, hey, don't attack the boy, and then he's away from Homelander, Butcher should have tried to just redirect Dude back onto Homelander. And I don't think that Soldier Boy would have kept going for the boy, and it just seemed a little needless. A lot of the fights in this seemed really more plot convenient than they did realistic. Kind of like Maeve going after Homelander by herself, like that was never realistic.
I think Soldier Boy is a little bit more narcissistic than Homelander, because like at least Homelander cared for his son. Soldier Boy didn't give a fuck about Homelander, who is his son. Didn't give a fuck about the kid, who's his grandson, and he's killed like so many people. I mean,
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, he doesn't really necessarily want to kill the boy. Like, he doesn't care if the boy gets hurt, but at the same time,
he doesn't care if the boy gets killed. You know what I mean? Either like if he's in the way, either these people do collateral damage. You even saw like the similarities between Homelander and Soldier Boy. Like Homelander often goes to when he's speaking in front of a public audience, in front of the public, and cameras are on him. He always says that you people are the heroes, and then we see a clip of Soldier Boy in the past saying to the members of the military that they're also the heroes as well. Like they follow similar steps, but Soldier Boy is the original narcissist. He is the granddaddy, no pun intended. And nobody's going to take his spot, and he'll kill his own blood if that was the case, in my opinion. That's why,
maybe. But then when you get afterwards, when he fucking explodes and May survives, the boy wouldn't have died. The boy and Homelander would have probably just lost their fucking powers.
Exactly.
That's all that would have happened. So them
exactly what Butcher wants.
Yeah, with them stopping.
Yeah, they don't know that though. Do that though. They only like we all thought Maeve was dead. You know what I mean? So, but let's just.
But they saw what happened to Kimiko when Kimiko got hit. What happened to her? She lost her powers. She
took a full blast and just lost her powers.
But her powers is like healing powers in a way.
Yeah, so Homelanders and the boys, it would have been enough to just hit Homelander. So I get where they're coming from. Obviously, they're scared. They don't know this, that, but bad strategy as well. You got to think of the greater good.
It looks good on the screen. I had a good time watching it, but when I think about what the events that happened during this fight, I'm all like plot convenience, and shot setup.
Okay, let me just quickly continue talking about this because I haven't finished speaking about the fight yet. But Huey gets on the comms and tells all the employees there's a terrorist threat, so everyone should leave. This is a way to stop collateral damage, so to speak. Kimiko's listening to 80s music, and this is one scene which I didn't really like too much because
same.
If they're trying to save people from getting killed, then surely like Kimiko shouldn't be going overly apeshit on these guards who are just doing their job. You know, like she murdered these guards who were just doing their job. You know, so I thought that was a bit over the top. It kind of went against everything that they were trying to do with all the employees at Vought Tower. But yes, sorry, where are my notes? She gets carried. She basically gets carried away, killing all the agents. Killing all the guards as French is making the nerve gas, and she gets so carried away with killing them. She's actually enjoying herself. She forgets looking after Frenchie, and he gets shot in the leg. But by that particular time, the gas is made. And Ryan also agrees with us as well. It made little sense. Yeah, well, nothing's perfect, unfortunately. Soldier Boy and Butcher are trading blows, and it's left to Starlight to try and stop him. Huey helps Starlight by turning up all the lights in the room and giving Annie full power, and she rises off the ground like Jesus, giving Soldier Boy a big blast. And this is pretty cool because Butcher earlier on mentioned about switching off the power and not giving Annie any power to escape from the safe, and it just gives us a reminder because sometimes Starlight's power is not really understood exactly how it works, but this was a good indication of it. You know, like with obviously Huey being there to save Starlight as well by making her more powerful, which I also like too. Anyway, with Soldier Boy kind of like on the ropes, everyone else is trying to hold Soldier Boy down so they can give him the gas, and Soldier Boy is about to give his super blast, and Maeve does a Goldberg spear on Soldier Boy. Out the window, sacrificing herself to stop his blast from killing everyone else. Butcher tends to Ryan, but this time round, this is a role reversal to the end of last season because, you know, at the end of last season, Ryan sides with Butcher, but this time round, Ryan walks off with Homelander, and I thought that was pretty cool too. The fight's now over, you know, they don't want to fight over the kid and stuff like that, so yeah. With the fight over and the tent be wearing out, Butcher passes out. We see Butcher now in hospital being told by a doctor he has a handful of months to live. Mother Milk tells his daughter that his grandfather and several other members were killed by Soldier Boy. Maeve is still alive with her old girlfriend. She asked Starlight if she could get a pirate patch or a Sammy Davis Jr. glass eye. Starlight says patch. Maeve has lost her powers, but she'll go into hiding with a girlfriend and start a new life, which is nice. I think Maeve deserved a happy ending. She's one of the good superheroes. So yeah. Ashley sees footage of Maeve surviving and deletes the footage. Officer Grace Mallory sees Soldier Boy put on ice. Sees basically Soldier Boy put on ice, and the Deep is binging biscuits and chocolates. As his ex-wife spills the bean on their relationship, probably mentioning that he's a sexual pervert who likes fucking octopuses. So yeah, that's not going to too deep too well.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. So Starlight now basically joins the boys and throws away her outfit, and now she's going to be full-time Annie from now onwards. Butcher arrives worse for wear, and before they have a chance to talk to him, we see Victoria Newman is running for VP, and then Butcher says that bitch has got to go. Finally, Homelander fans acting like Trump supporters are basically fucking over the media, worshipping Nazi Stormfront, and just basically being very ravenous. And then the Homelander lands among them and introduces his son to them. A Starlight fan throws a can at both Homelander and his son, and it hits Ryan. I remember somebody called that Starlight fan a libtard. That made me laugh. Homelander Homelander blows that the Starlight fan's brains out with his eye beams, and then the Homelander fan, starting with Todd, which is the Mother's Milk, the stepfather to Mother Milk's daughter, starts cheering for Homelander, proving the adage of what Trump said, that he could kill somebody on Fifth Avenue and his fans would still support him.
Exactly.
You know? So
exactly where my head went.
Yeah, so that's the first thing I thought of, as well. So yeah, and you see Homelander kind of being happy, realizing that he can really now be himself. Yeah. Well, American politics is always in our faces. So yeah, exactly. And I know some people, once they started realizing that they were being taken the piss out of, and that Homelander was an allegory for Trump, then they started hating the show all of a sudden. Like, all of a sudden, they feel victimized.
I love that there was a guy with a shaman suit in the crowd as well.
Yeah. The QAnon shaman.
And the other guys are wearing like the Proud Boy armor and all this kind of stuff.
And they were fucking supporting Stormfront as well. Like, you saw the Nazi ones as well. Like they weren't pulling their punches. I loved it.
They had a lightning bolt on the sign. They had the SS lightning bolt on the damn sign. They know what they're about.
It's the American flag in the SS lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Well, nationalists, you always got to be worried about them. They're fucking nuts, you know what I mean? And they're fucking crazy, and they don't really abide by any rules but their own.
Before we talk about anything else, I just want to quickly harp on Victoria's daughter. Do you reckon she's going to be in the spin-off? Because the spin-off is kind of like a loose take on the X-Men, set in a school and all of that. Because once she got the injection, we never saw her again.
I don't know. I think because she's still a young girl, I think she'll still be I think she'll still be alongside Victoria. She'll be keeping a close eye on her. I think Victoria is
maybe her versus Ryan. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. But it seems like Victoria now is the person the boys have got their eyes set on. But how do you go after somebody like that? One look at you and you're fucking dead. She looks at you, you're dead. And so I'm very excited, for next season to see where it goes. I'm very excited to see, the Homelander style, the Trump supporting Homelander style people, how crazy they're going to go, and it goes to show that you can. I said this before, regarding politics and certain people. People have their favorites, and you can spill the beans. You can show them, do all types of things. In this particular case, Homelander killed some guy in cold blood. I mean, that person, even though he threw that thing at them, they're superheroes. They didn't deserve. He didn't deserve to die, but he just killed them. He just killed them instantly, and everyone's on board with that, And it goes to show that whatever he does, he can do anything he wants, and people will support him, to the bitter end. And that's what's so fascinating about politics today. Doesn't matter how bad you are, people will follow you. So I love that. I can't wait.
It's so beautifully done. They don't pull any punches. You know who they're targeting. They're not scared to target who they want to target, and fair play. You know.
Yeah, I to say I'm excited to see him go full villain next season, but I feel like they can't just keep making him more and more apparently evil. Like, okay, he's been evil since day one, but and they just slightly, and then they just made that more and more apparent as each season goes on. And I feel like honestly, this season I was starting to get sick of it, and I wanted him to be gone at the end of the season.
I,
I think that by the time we actually got to the end of the season, I was okay with him not dying. But if he doesn't die next season, I'm done with the show the season
Jake,
after.
Jake, I look at it differently. Yeah, he's always been the bad guy from the very beginning. Yeah, he's always been a screw loose. He's been fucked in the head. But in season one, he was a tool. Now he's the boss. You know, and we've seen that arc of his character no longer taking orders but giving orders, and that's the difference. It's not about he's the villain and they have to stop him. He's just one of many characters in this particular show. And if he ends up winning and everyone else ends up losing, I'll be very satisfied as well with how the show goes, in my opinion.
Well, it's very
Yeah, I'm
interesting.
saying they can't keep that.
No, go on, Jake.
Sorry.
No, go on.
No, I just don't think they can keep it, and just I'm getting sick of him being the villain. I mean, he's been the villain since the beginning, and I don't care anymore.
Butch is just as much a villain to a degree as well. You know, like he wasn't caring how much devastation was going to be caused by killing Homelander, until obviously Ryan got into the mix and it got a little, and then it became personal. And it's the same with Homelander himself. Like Ryan is his son, and things get a little bit personal, but he's just a character. You know, I don't look at him as the overall bad guy and they have to stop him and yada yada yada. It's just a story about people living in a world full of the most powerfulest people in the world, and how do you stop them? Someone like Homelander, it's very difficult to stop him. Which
it's been 3 seasons of how do we stop him? We can't stop him, and it's just.
I see where you're coming from. I do see that.
For me, it's I just love his whole arc. I just love the kind of gradual progression. But where they need to go next season is more just full blown fucking megalomaniac. Get
Rule
to that tipping point. I know you'll get to Jake, but it's necessary. It's a good. It's how you get to where we're getting to, because we can't get to like next season where we just have more of the same, and then he dies. We have to go Superman in Injustice.
Right, but I mean, what do we go after that? What I'm saying is that next season's the last that we can sustain that, because where do you go after that? Because we have reached the Superman problem. He's invincible, and therefore he's boring.
There's always a substitute, though. Yeah, like season one, he was the main bad guy, but in season two, Stormfront was the person in front of him, which they had to deal with. This season, it was Soldier Boy. I think Victoria Newman will be that person possibly next season. Yeah, there's always somebody who's more important to deal with than Homelander himself. He almost becomes secondary to what they need to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but by the end of it, he has to be the primary. By the end of it,
yeah, I agree.
I don't mean the primary of just that group goes after him. By the end of it, his rise should start selling alarm bells, because there's more superheroes in this universe. It's not just the 7 that we saw and all this kind of stuff. Because obviously, what we saw in Herogasm and all of that. So when we get to it, either we get what they did in the comics, which was he rallied all the superheroes together to say, look, nobody can fucking stop us. We can do what we want to do. And then we get the epic battle outside the White House that we did in the comic books, or we get the flip where everyone comes down on him, and he either gets killed off in 4 or he stands above everything at the end of it. I personally just think it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon. He is literally the hottest shit at the moment in terms of TV land. Emmy nominated, and just everyone singing his praises. So,
I say if they do more than one season, they're going to Game of Thrones it.
I like the idea. I like the idea of him being the ruler of not only America but the world. I really like that.
That's what I want to get him to. I want him to get to Superman Injustice. Yeah,
exactly.
because I don't think Amazon aren't going to finish this show off anytime soon, and they're not going to get rid of their two biggest stars. And you know that Butcher is going to end up taking Compound V in the end to survive. And there's always a prospect of Maeve coming back and taking it. So yeah,
Bring an eyeball
I
back.
just feel like Homelander's story has nowhere to go after he becomes the Injustice Superman, which is next season. His story has nowhere to go. You could maybe get another season out of Butcher's story where Butcher goes crazy killing berserks or killing the soups, and just indiscriminately kills his own team members who have taken V, and just kills every single person who's taken V. You can maybe get a sixth season out of that. But as far as Homelander's story goes, after he starts being in Injustice Superman, what do you do with him after that?
Well, we don't necessarily have to have a happy ending. He could be like the last person on Earth. You know what I mean? That would be great. You know, like everyone keeps defying him or whatever, and then he just ends up killing everyone.
If I was to take a guess of where they're going to go with him next season, so it's not going to be so much confrontation with the boys. It's more going to be how he rallies up the public to kind of get behind him. And then maybe if they go down a comic book route, he gets the other superheroes to kind of join him or get fucked either way.
Sure.
So there are plenty of interesting elements there.
There's Ryan as well.
When he gets to that point, how do you work on his downfall? Because you do have to work on his downfall unless they go the opposite route and there is no downfall, which would make sense given he's so fucking powerful. But obviously the downfall is the interesting part, because if you do it at an epic scale, it could be just go down in history, or we could get a wet fart like Game of Thrones.
Nothing
Sorry, go on, mate, please.
Nothing is more interesting than me than seeing, like, in the third act, a villain fall apart and crumble. I find that really... Yeah, I love seeing that, especially if they're the calculating, magnificent bastard type.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, but for me, like, if someone as powerful as Homelander, you know, eventually he'll want to just you know, Thanos snap the boys, because they've been a thorn in his side for a long time, and they can't just keep avoiding him and staying alive. He'll probably just want them to be killed. Ryan Jelly says that the smile on Ryan's face at the end, new villain later, maybe. Yeah, and I like that too, because, you know, he was the new hope, so to speak. Young Ryan was. But I like the fact that he might go down the dark side and be more of an Anakin than the Luke. And I very much appreciate that. I want to see that happen, actually. I don't want him to be a good guy. Ryan also says that they could be how they keep him, the series, the error of his ways through Ryan. I don't know, the comics and all.
I don't think so.
All I know is that, look, the superheroes run this universe. You know, they are the main arbiters of how things are done, and we have to see it from that particular perspective. Like, you know, like Game of Thrones, good people don't get anywhere. You know, it's the grey characters who are close to the good people in this, and they're fucked up, and they've got fucked up histories as well. And they come close to being the good guys in this, but they're not that good. Look at Butcher; he's a fucking terrible person, and so is Frenchie as well. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're not good people.
So just to answer Ryan's question, in the comics, so obviously Butcher, you know, thought that it was Homelander that raped his wife. The baby burst out of his wife, and then Homelander kills the baby because it just burst out, clawed its way out the mother. She died. And then obviously Homelander's freaked out, sees the baby with laser eyes, and he beats the baby to death. But then again, it turns out that all of the bad things that people thought Homelander did, it was all Noir was the one that did it. Because Noir main target was, if Homelander got out of control, was to take him down. But in that, by waiting and nothing happening, he went mad. And so he just basically set things up to kind of frame Homelander. And when it's all revealed, it was just, chef's kiss.
Do you think they'll bring clones in next season?
Master.
Sorry, say that, Jake?
I said, do you think they'll bring clones in next season?
Who?
Clones? No. I don't think.
Oh, clones. Oh, yeah, okay.
Clones are a big part of the comics, so.
You never know.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go down there. Well, hopefully. It'll be interesting. Sorry, Rage, you were saying?
I was just saying that Garth Ennis he's a master. He's such a good author.
Yeah. Oh, Garth Ennis. Oh my God. Yeah. I want his babies. Yeah. he's fantastic. Yeah. One of the greats.
Exactly. So, when's the spin-off coming out? Because that feels like it's more on the horizon than season 4.
I don't know. I haven't even seen a trailer, or let me check.
Patrick Schwarzenegger, man, that's going to be interesting to see him and old Arnie's son.
Yeah.
Clones, don't do any
good
fucking
chat.
time travel.
So the Boys Presents Varsity, 2023, so next year.
Interesting. I'm very much looking forward to that. Spin-offs have, like there's been so many spin-offs. Obviously, TNG is a spin-off, but because it was supposed to be like Star, like on the Enterprise and stuff like that, we then had Deep Space Nine, which was also a very unique spin-off. And they worked, but some spin-offs don't work. I really want this fucking spin-off to work. I love this fucking show. I love it, and I'm gutted. It's over. It's absolutely, it's done. No more boys until maybe 2023 at the end of next year, maybe. I'm guessing.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, they're going to want to turn it around quickly. But then I say that people waited 3 years for Stranger Things, and it smashed records. Over 1 billion views. That's just fucking mental to think about it.
I agree, but I think Amazon seemed to be a lot more efficient with the boys. Like I feel like, I think we've had like 3 seasons in the last 4 years.
Well, yeah, how many years did it take them to put up the Lord of the Rings show or the Wheel of Time show that was in development for
Wheel of Time ain't bother with.
God, what is that Wheel of Time? Was that any good or was that naff?
The Wheel of Time show, let's give it a D. That's a long conversation about why. It's not entirely the show's fault, and sometimes it is.
Right.
They're really going down that fantasy route now. I'm not sure what Netflix is bringing out, but obviously Amazon's doing the old Lord of the Rings, and Disney are doing Willow. So,
well, Lord of the Rings had problems as well with production. That's why it's taken so long. And then there was COVID as well, and plus $1 billion show, and it's larger in scale than say The Boys is. So that's why it's probably taken. I don't fucking defend that Amazon. I don't know. I'm just speculating on my part. But yeah, I mean, if they want to churn something out quick, then they can. If they can't, fuck, I don't know. I'm not a mind reader.
Meanwhile, Invincible, I'm looking forward to that. That's the other decent show. I love Invincible. Fucking fantastic. I can't wait for season 2 on that. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Seth Rogen, he's involved in both The Boys and Invincible, and he seems to be a decent producer when it comes to some
of this. He's a great producer. Yeah, but you see, when you get somebody who knows what they're doing, you get great shit. When you put talentless accountants and nepotism in there, you get garbage. That's the difference. Like Rogan, I'm not his biggest fan, and that I don't hate the guy. I mean, like his films, take them or leave them. But as a creative person, he's got it there. And you can see he's doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is going to be interesting to see what he does with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he's learned from some of his previous mistakes, because he was going down the old Adam Sandler route, like let's get all my buddies together and make a movie sort of shit. And if you ever seen Sausage Party, it's one of the biggest piles of fucking shit. It is so bad. Like I'm not shocked. It was just terrible. It's just a terrible film. It didn't shock me. It was just stupid. We're talking about food, inanimate objects trying to have sex. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, all right. I think we've babbled on enough about this. Anything more to say, fellas?
No, all good.
All right, great. Well, then, to everyone out there in YouTube land, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Do we want to mark it?
Oh yes, I do. I'm gonna give season 3 a 10. This is the 3rd season, and I think it's the best season so far. Usually, the first season of a very popular show tends to be the standout season. I mean, what the show has done and what the show's brought to the table, it's made me laugh. It's made me fucking laugh, man. That flying hamster, that alone makes it a fucking 10, man. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it gets a 10 from me. Ginger?
Yeah, I mean, again, nitpicky stuff aside, yeah, I'll give it a 10 as well. I was just glued to the screen the entire time watching it. So yeah.
Jake?
I'm gonna give it a 9. Like I said, I got a little bored of Homelander's antics by the end of it. And other than that, I really like the show though.
Yes, great score.
I think season 2 is the best.
Mage?
Oh, really?
I'll give it a 9. I also think I enjoyed last season a little bit more than this one, but still really quality television.
Fair enough.
I made a post saying
Ryan
that this isn't. Sorry, this is the new Game of Thrones, in my opinion. It really is. This is the show that everyone's talking about, everyone wants to watch. And yeah, anyway, it's saying regarding Ryan. You want to read it out, Ginger?
Just don't let them ruin it like Game of Thrones by dragging it
Yeah,
up.
I agree with that, Jake. Yeah, don't.
That's my concern. We were talking about future seasons. Is that I don't want, just because the show's really good, for them to drag it on for forever. I think they got
agree.
1 or 2 more
I
seasons.
agree.
Any longer than that, it sucks.
4 or 5 should be the limit.
Well, Game of Thrones didn't get dragged. It got wrapped up
Yeah,
too quickly. That was its problem. It wasn't
Yeah.
the drag. It was the wrap up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I would like to bring up the aluminium, not aluminum, savage.
Yeah,
straw.
fuck that word.
Maeve stabbed the Homelander. Yeah, how? Bullets don't pierce his skin, but the straw did. Not a big.
It was a pencil.
No, it was a metal straw.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
metal something, metal
So
cylinder.
it was foreshadowing. You knew it was coming anyway because of the super hearing stuff throughout the whole episode, and then you just know, oh, somehow it's going to get an ear fucked up or something. How she did it, I don't know. Suddenly she had major uber super strength. She couldn't kick down a door when she was imprisoned, but she can go toe to toe with Homelander and make him bleed.
Yeah, and she got ambushed by Black Noir, but then again, Homelander was there, so maybe they did double team her. But even though she was able to overstrength Black Noir last season by giving him a fucking almond joy, you know,
so they were very inconsistent with Maeve this season. I felt.
Yeah. By the way, I love Queen Maeve. She's fucking hot. You know what I mean? She's gorgeous, man. I love Queen Maeve. I love that character so much. I'm glad she lived. You know, so. All right. So as you can see, pretty much top marks all around. So even like with the negatives, it didn't make anyone want to go less than a 9. So this show obviously is fucking superb, and I can't wait. I am drooling at the bit for next season and these spin-offs. Bring it on. This is the sort of shit I like to fucking watch nowadays, not fucking bubblegum bollocks. Disney Plus. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, everyone, and take care. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.